there's a guy that you probably have unfortunately heard of is running for president. He's a guy by the name of Andrew Yang. Now, this guy has claimed since day one that he supports Medicare for all. But in his health care plan, he actually does not say anything about real Medicare for all. He just says he supports the spirit of it. And there's nothing actually in the plan that talks about making Medicare for everybody. There's not even anything about lowering age eligibility for Medicare. There's nothing about expanding Medicare. It talks about literally everything but Medicare. So it's entirely unclear what his plan really is. And so there was a guy on MSNBC, he's a host on ABC, sorry, mixing the two up. He actually calls out Mr. Andrew to his face. Let us go ahead and hear this out.
But I'm confused. Your ad is explicit. Your ad says Medicare for all. Your plan is not Medicare for all. It's not even Medicare for some, because in your plan, there's not even a public option.
Our plan is to expand a universal health care system to all Americans. Medicare for all is not the name of a bill. Medicare for all is universal health care for all Americans.
But Medicare for all is Medicare for all, right? I mean...
Well, our health care plan would be based on Medicare and expanding it over time to more and more Americans. You lower the eligibility age and then you make it widely accessible.
Okay, I didn't see that in your plan.
So this is the worst thing that I've seen from Andrew Yang, okay? And it goes to show you how much of a huckster, how much of a fraud this guy is, and how much of a weaselly little liar is. This guy is a sleazy, weaselly douchebag, okay, is what he is. He just lied through his teeth on national television on multiple issues, okay? First of all, this clown says that there's no bill named Medicare for All. Moron, S1129 is literally called Medicare for All Act of 2019. It was proposed by Bernie Sanders, okay? So yes, it is. It literally says in Section 1, short title, table of contents, just short title, this act may be cited as the Medicare for All Act of 2019. So yes, there is a bill. Bernie Sanders talked about it so much. Like, were you not listening to the debate stage when he was talking about how he wrote the damn bill? He wrote a bill outlining this. This is the thing. It's not like random conjecture stuff that's these fantasy land ideas. We're talking about actual proposed legislation. And so when you see stupid stuff like that, I mean, it's hilariously laughable. When you tell me that, oh, there's no bill called Medicare for All. Yes, there is, dude. Like, have you not been paying attention at all? It's incredibly embarrassing, folks. But I want to zoom in on this and really just explain to you just how much of a huckster and a fraud this guy is. He's been saying since day one that he supports Medicare for All. If you read his healthcare plan, which I did, and I did a video on it, he says nothing about expanding Medicare. He says nothing about lowering the eligibility age for Medicare. All he talks about is things like comprehensive healthcare. It was so empty, or it was lacking so much in his healthcare plan that it almost seemed like there needed to be an extension or like a part 2 to his healthcare plan, because golly gee, it was just so, like, what is your proposal? And then I saw that his Dick Rider fans were basically trying to say, oh, well, he's trying to tackle it systemically. Everything that you saw in there are all things, the vast majority of those, that Bernie Sanders and all these bills already cover. So, like, trying to, basically having it so the government, negotiates with the pharmaceutical industry for costs of drugs and all that kind of stuff. Those are all cleared things. And Medicare for All itself will bring costs down, obviously, because private insurance is essentially this mafia, and they also distort the prices in the market, right? And if we have one big system, that's how we can bring the costs down, okay? It's a very simple concept. And so administrative costs would go down massively, and the overhead would, be slashed massively, because public programs don't have very much overhead, like Social Security and Medicare, whereas these private insurance plans do. So the biggest thing I want you to take away from this guy is a Weasley liar. And so the reason why I have this guy in F tier now, or I don't know, I forgot if I put him in D tier or F tier. I really don't know what this guy supports. I mean, look at this guy's face. That's the face of a liar and a huckster. He's been lying to us this entire time, okay? He's been lying about his position. Listen, man, if you're a centrist, or in this case, I don't know if he's a libertarian or what on earth he is. I genuinely don't know at this point. I don't know if he's the next Milton Friedman or what he's trying to be. But whatever the hell your position is, be upfront about it and tell me what it is, especially if you're running for office. Especially if you're running for office, okay? No excuses on that one. So, seeing Andrew Yang like this really exposes his true colors, and the truth of the matter is that presidential candidate Andrew Yang is a complete fraud. He does not support Medicare for all, and this guy is a weaselly little liar.